one power, invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power, indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power.
Good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Midtown, Atlanta. Such is the nature of life that all it asks and all it wants is the opportunity to appear. And you are that opportunity, and so am I, and so it is. Whoever you are, whatever path brought you here today, please know that you are welcome. We know who you are. You are an individual expression of the divine life in which we all live. Your life's opportunity to be someone unique and wonderful, whatever your ethnic background, religious affiliation, however you know yourself, describe yourself, your pronouns of gender identities. We're glad you are here with us today. You're welcome to be a part of this community in whatever way serves you. We are a strong, open, globally connected community centered on clarity of principle through teaching, service, and practice. We create a safe and respectful environment that supports healthy spiritual growth. That's our vision statement. And for a better understanding of who we are and what we teach, listen now to our Declaration of Principles as written by our founder, Ernest Holmes.
A few of the Declaration of Principles we live by.
I believe in one God, one absolute power, and first cause to all things.
I believe that this power is perfect love, and it creates out of a desire to express love.
I believe all thought is creative, and how I choose to think creates my personal experience.
I believe in the unity of all life, and the immortality of the individual soul forever unfolding.
I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of God to all.
And so it is.
So grateful, hey.
And so it is. A practitioner is someone who's demonstrated the ability to use spiritual practice and spiritual laws to bring about great changes in their lives. They demonstrated that they know how to bring about these changes in others when asked. Licensed by Centers for Spiritual Living, they are available to you to provide spiritual guidance and support in those areas where you're looking for assistance. You can contact them through our website, cslmidtown.org. And today, one of our wonderful practitioners to share good ideas and an affirmative prayer called a spiritual mind treatment. Welcome the practitioner for this morning, Norma Roberts.
Thank you very much, Vance, and I really thank everyone for being here this morning. You know, today is a beautiful day, and we're going to declare this a wonderful day, and only wonderful things we'll uncover today. An article that's written by Dennis Mary Jones expressed the differences that each of us can make in this world. And you know, right now, when there seems to be so much turmoil, I am so glad we have the theme that we have, power to the people. Dennis Mary Jones said, when we recognize that we are all connected, we begin to understand that our life touches more people than we can ever know. The question is not if we are making a difference, but rather what kind of difference we are making. Ultimately, The sense of connection and oneness we feel subtly arises from our embodied belief that, as Dr. Holmes stated, spirit is all there is. Speaking spiritually and metaphorically, there is one vine and many branches. So perhaps the divine paradox is, where on the vine of life do I end and you begin? One thing we shout to ourselves is, what we do to one, we do to all. What we do for one, we do for all. Do you see your life and what you do with this purposeful? With all that is happening around our planet, between nations, between people, it's easy to perceive our individual selves as insignificant and, in the process, get lost in what we interpret in the minutiae of our own personal existence. They say 6 degrees of separation is a theory based on the idea that every human being is on the planet is 6 or fewer steps away, that is an introduction from someone else, just 6 feet away from another person. While the term separation may seem counterintuitive to the theme of oneness, it really is not, because separation is an invention of the human mind. It's a misconception of wholeness, a misperception of oneness. In your mind's eye, imagine dropping a small pebble in a calm body of water. Notice how the ripple created by just one pebble expands into multiple overlapping ripples. Have you ever thought of yourself as a pebble? Metaphysically speaking, on the ocean of oneness, that's exactly what you are. When you consider those who are affected by the ripple effects of your thoughts, deeds, and actions. The takeaway is that you really do matter. Everything you do has an impact on someone, somewhere, even if you don't even know them. You are a pebble, sending out ripples that continue to touch other lives. So the question we must ask ourselves isn't, will we make a difference in the world? Knowing we are one and understanding the power of the ripple effect, the real question is, what kind of difference will it be? As we move forward with a deepening awareness of the one which unifies us all, may the ripples you send forth be guided by the impulse of loving kindness, selflessness, non-judgment, reverence, compassion, and joy. Where on the vine of life do I end and you begin? The answer is buried in the unfathomable paradox of oneness. We are one. And now I invite you to join me in our treatment for this morning. And in preparation for the treatment, I just invite you to make yourself comfortable. Close your eyes if you like. Begin to be aware of your breath. And just breathe slowly and deeply. With each breath, allow yourself to become more deeply relaxed as we speak words of truth. We are here today to know the truth. We are here today to set in motion a healing for ourselves, for our friends, and all the families so caught up in the fear and violence that appear to surround us. We are here to send out love and peace and know the truth for our leaders as well as for our country. As we refuse to give in to fear, we know God is all there is. God is in all, over all, through all, and is all. I am one in God with all humanity. Divine mind guides and governs every person, everywhere, now and forevermore. And God is in control in spite of the appearances to the contrary. I know, and I know that I know, there is but one life. That life is God. That life is my life right here and right now. My thoughts then have a rippling effect that reaches out to the multitude, mending the pain, the hurt, and the anger, and bringing tranquility and love to overshadow fearful situations. So I call on the unifying Spirit of God by knowing there is but one presence, one power, one action. The presence, power, and action of God as absolute love and peace. In this oneness, the possibility of spiritual cooperation with all humanity unfolds. Being united in spirit, I declare that I am that I am. And the I am that I am is a light bringer of love and peace, eradicating the darkness of fear and ignorance that has caused so many pain, creating a rippling effect for all. I now look for ways to be love and bring peace wherever I am. I realize that what I see is a demonstration of my consciousness. Therefore, I see only the good, the true, and the beautiful. The seeming lie prepares the way for the truth to reveal itself. So right now, I see a world of greater love, peace, and cooperation as never experienced before. In this transforming moment, and with great gratitude, I speak my word for love and understanding, and for acceptance and non-judgment. Being the light bringer, I know the peace within me is peace in the world. As I release my word to the mystical works of spirit, and know that it is so now, we let it be so. And so it is. Thank you so much.
One world, one people, one hope, one life, one voice, one song, one spirit, one light, just one. Only one. One choice, one freedom, one truth, one light, one joy, one peace, one power, one life, just one. Only one. What you gonna do about the problems of the world? Do you want another view? Then stop. Take your brother by the hand and stop. Tell your sister that she can, cause we'll go a little farther, last a little longer when we help each other out, make each other stronger. Who's gonna do it?
You and me.
Why we gonna do it?
Cause it sets us free.
One world, one people, one hope, one life, one voice, one song, one spirit, one night, just one. Only one. One choice, one freedom, one truth, one light, one joy, one peace, one power, one life, just one. Only one. won't do it, not today. Maybe when I'm richer, or stronger, or kinder. Then I'll be a good boy, then I'll be a nice girl. Then I'll help the people with the problems of the whole world. Whoops, try again, cause there's another way. When you share a little love, it'll make your day. It'll make you richer, and stronger, and kinder. Now is the time, it'll blow your mind. One world, one people, one hope, one life, one voice, one song, one spirit, one light, just one. Only one. One choice, one freedom, one truth, one light, one joy, one peace, one power, one life, just one. Only one.
There is only one. One power, only one. One thing going on. One. We do our part when we live our days surrendering to what we can become. Keep on remembering that there is only one. There is
Share
only
your love with the one, share your joy with the one, share your light with the one, cause there's only one. Share your heart with the one, share your truth with the one, share your spirit with the one, cause there's only one. Share your voice with the one, share your peace with the one, share your presence with the one, cause there's only one. Share your life with the one, share your bliss with the one, share your soul with the one, cause there's only one. Share your world with the one, share your power with the one, share your world with the one, cause there's only one. Share your love with the one, share your joy with the one, share your life with the one, cause there's only one. Share your hope with the one, share your truth with the one, share your spirit with the one, cause there's only one. Share your voice with the one, share your peace with the one, share your presence with the one, cause there's only one. Share your life with the one, share your bliss with the one, share your soul with the one, cause there's only one.
If you like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And if you want to see more content like this, please support us on Patreon. The link is in the description.
That was Melissa and Z on that song one of theirs. So today I have the great pleasure of introducing our speaker, Reverend Nicholas Gunn. Reverend Nicholas has an interesting backstory. He was raised in a very secular family in a very secular and rural northern New Hampshire. When he discovered New Thought, however, it completely changed his life. Since then, he's been on an intense path of study and service that has led him to share with us today the wisdom he's picked up along the way. Nicholas has done serious study in 3 major New Thought traditions. He's completed study as a practitioner in both religious science and divine science paths. He also has a ministerial preparatory student with the Unity Urban Ministerial School. And Reverend Nicholas was recently credentialed a New Thought minister and graduate from the Emerson Theological Institute. And I was actually there for his graduation. He holds a master's degree in religious studies, as well as 2 undergrads in religious studies and business administration. Nicholas coordinates the prayer ministry at the Unity of Pompano Beach, Florida, where he also regularly teaches classes and serves as a featured speaker. Welcome, Reverend Nicholas.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for that introduction, Vance. I'm so grateful to you all for inviting me to speak today for your wonderful Center of Spiritual Living Midtown. I made the connection to you all through Maya, who I met taking a speaking course together at Emerson Institute. And I also had the opportunity to meet and get to know Vance at the recent Anton retreat and learn from him some of the wonderful things you all do together. And I'm just happy to have my small part in that today. Now, when I received the invitation to speak today and looked at the CSL suggested topic for this weekend, which is power to the people, I really had to take some time to consider and time to reflect. With the election coming up in just a little more than a week from now, what exactly is our power in this process? What is our power, really? And to what purpose should we use it? I want to be clear now, this is not a talk about the election. Absolutely not. All of us have been inundated with endless news and social media posts and conversations and campaign events and many, many, many ads for the last weeks and months. All of us have come through our own discernment process, using our faculties of wisdom and discernment and listening to the indwelling Spirit. And so all of us know what is ours to do in this election, whether and how we will vote, whether and how we will donate, whether and how we will volunteer, and all the rest. This is not a talk about that. No. This is a talk about using our power. This is a talk about our real power. What are we to do? How can we demonstrate our values in this world? How can we be a presence of peace, be the oneness that we are seeking? We are here to demonstrate our good for ourselves and for others. So let's do a deep dive on this together. I want to start at the beginning, the foundation, where we should be starting all of our prayer and treatments. What is the truth? Everywhere and always, what is the truth? The truth is that we are all one. The truth is that there is only one presence and one power in the universe. I am a part of that oneness, and so are you. All of us here are part of that. You know this. You believe it. You pray and do all of your spiritual work from this place. So let me ask you a provocative question. Do you really believe that? Really? The fact of the matter is, we are presented with lots and lots of evidence to the contrary. If you believe the polls, and I'm not at all sure that you should, this is basically a 50-50 nation. Georgia is basically a 50-50 state. It was actually the closest state in the results of our last election cycle. According to these polls and the general media narrative, half of us have fundamentally different worldviews from the other half, a different set of values and a different set of beliefs. And in support of this worldview, all of us pick different media that we consume, different news, different social media that reinforces our particular beliefs. As truth students, we have long known that the experiences we have are, in truth, our own beliefs reflected back at us. Now, with the advent of social media, we have algorithms supercharging that process. If you use a computer, a smartphone, or social media of any kind, and I know you do because you're listening to me right now, there are other computers out there that are feeding you more and more information that reinforces your pre-existing beliefs. These algorithms are building up resistance and separation in consciousness between yourself and those people on the so-called other side. You see, these algorithms were created for a purpose, to get you to engage with the platforms and the content, to get you to spend more of your time and your attention on that platform, on Facebook, on TikTok, on Twitter, on whatever it is. The goal is to keep you scrolling and scrolling. And you know what keeps you scrolling and scrolling the most? Those things that reinforce your existing worldview. Things that get you angry about those people, the ones you don't agree with, a seemingly endless flow of the terrible and awful things they are doing. You keep scrolling, and then you start to see the world as us versus them. So it builds up these ideas over time, us and them, us and them. So that's the situation we're in collectively. That's the root of our divisiveness as a country. A technology and a media environment that is trying very, very, very hard to convince us the truth we know as New Thought students is not real. An environment that encourages us to forget that oneness, that makes it harder for us to build the peace and the love and the joy that we are seeking together. So what's the way out of this situation? How can we bring the oneness we are seeking more fully into our experience? Well, to start, here's something you can try. Remove the app for social media platform you use the most from the phone. This won't stop you using Facebook or whatever it is. You can always open the web browser on your device to access it if you really want to. But try it just for a week. The first time I did this, you remove the app and you'll be amazed how often your thumb keeps going to that blank space where the app used to be. When I did this, I was amazed how many times I tried to open that app. I wasn't even thinking about it. It was mindless. Using the app is a mindless habit. It was making me mindless. And removing all those apps from my phone about a year ago, my social media use has seriously reduced. Let me tell you, the positive change in my mental outlook is significant. Give this a try. You won't regret it, I promise. That's one small practical step we can do to turn the tide on all this information we're consuming that is feeding us this consciousness and division. What can we do now to actively work in the other direction? How can we build more oneness in the world? I'd like to bring in now a quote you may not be familiar with. This is from Norma Brooks, who is the co-founder of Divine Science, from her book, Short Lessons in Divine Science. There are times when it seems necessary to set forth the difference between what we believe and what others believe. However, I see clearly that the oneness we so much desire will never be brought about by emphasizing difference, but rather in a constant realization of that in which we agree. I love to dwell in points of similarity and unity. I love to feel my oneness with others. No matter how much we may differ in minor points, our basis is one, as are our aims and our accomplishments. The only real difference is the method we use to carry out our purpose. Again, that's from Norma Brooks, Short Lessons in Divine Science. When you wake up on November the 6th, which is the day after this election, half of your neighbors and your coworkers, half of the people in this country will have voted a different way than you did. And we have to live together. We have to work and live and share and build this wonderful country we have together. We are here to build a more perfect union. A union. How do we do that? Not by emphasizing our differences, not by winning the argument, not by continuing the campaign, the endless political campaign we seem to find ourselves in, but by finding common ground. Find those things, those ideas, and those values that you agree on. Live in that space. Dwell in that consciousness. Find the oneness and stay there. Now, this is a challenging idea, a challenging teaching. And I'm sure some of you are now thinking, how can I possibly find common ground with those people who believe thus and such? How? That thing they believe is absolutely awful. It's unethical. It will be harmful to people, and it will absolutely go against my values. I can't stand for it. But I invite you to step back for a moment. Really consider, is that what you want? Do you want more resistance, more opposition, more enmity in your life? Spirit will absolutely reflect back at you exactly what you believe. You will be immersed and surrounded by it. So what's the way out here? How can we seek the oneness with others with whom we may disagree politically? Let me share an example from my own life. So you heard from Vance. I'm a newly credentialed minister. Just a few weeks ago, I graduated from Emerson Institute. All of my free time and energy, nights and weekends, are being offered in service to my spiritual community, teaching classes, offering prayer, volunteering, all those wonderful things. But I still have my day job. I work in the office at a manufacturing facility doing production planning. The company I work for is a very blue-collar environment overall, and the gentleman I share the office with is much older, retired from the military. So, in short, it's fair to say we have very different views on a whole host of things. Now, when we are working, he will frequently and very plainly voice his opinion on various political topics or news stories, whether I want to engage with him or not. But remember, we have to work together. Almost always, the first words out of his mouth, I disagree with. And frequently, I find them a bit offensive. And he's not sharing these views by asking me first. He's sharing them whether I want to hear them or not. But still, we have to work together. So when he's actually looking to talk and not just make a remark, I've learned not to be afraid to engage him in a conversation. The best way to handle this kind of discussion, I've found, is to ask questions, several questions, and really try to understand his point of view. When I do this with my coworker, he will say several political talking points right off the bat, yes. But then, when I listen, really listen, using all of my spiritual faculties, I can hear the truth coming through. I can find the values, the beliefs that are back of his political views that he holds. Those ideas and beliefs he holds that are his connection and inspiration from source. And you know what? At that moment, at that time when I recognize the values that he cares about, at that time I recognize the truth he is guided by, I know that we are both one. That at our core, we share the same goals, the same values, the real ones. We are one. Getting to that center, I find the oneness. Here's what Emily Cady had to say about this idea in Lessons in Truth, which is a Unity textbook. I want to stimulate you to lose sight of all differences, all side issues and lesser things, and seek but for one thing, that is the consciousness of the presence of an indwelling God in you and in your life. And believe me, there is just as there is less separation between the spokes of a wheel, the nearer you get to the hub. So you will find that the nearer you both come to the perfect center, which is the Father, the less difference there will be between you and your brother. That's from Emily Cady, Lessons in Truth. I always need to remember, the closer we get to the center of our being, the closer we are to the truth. The same indwelling spirit which is in me, at my very core, is also at the core of my coworker, even though he has very different political views. Even though we disagree politically, we are grounded in the same source. It works through us. It expresses through and as us. I believe in the oneness. I have to believe that it is always present, even with those with whom I disagree. The oneness is there always. What is mine to do, what I must do, is to seek it always. Find that point in the center and dwell there. Live there. And Spirit will bring more of it. The world will experience. The world that we experience is a reflection of our beliefs, remember? If you believe in the oneness, if you believe in your connection with your fellow, If you believe that there is one power and one presence, and that even those with whom I disagree are expressions of this same oneness, if you believe all of that, you can find common ground. Always. You will find more and more of it. You will be surrounded by common ground and loving and caring people. People who respect and value your contributions as you value and respect theirs. People who you have great working relationships with. People who are great neighbors, great friends. That's what I'm seeking. That's the power we have to bring the oneness into the world. Be the oneness. Seek the oneness. Find the oneness. Live there in consciousness and watch it grow. More and ever expanding in your experience. More and more oneness. I'd like to share one more quote with you from Ernest Holmes. I found this quote from resources at the Science of Mind archives, which I'm a supporter. The law completely ignores personal particularities and idiosyncrasies. It makes no distinctions between individuals, but operates always upon the mental concept we set before it. The law never shuts anyone out. It includes all people. We are very liable to think, because someone differs from us, that the law of spirit excludes him from reaching his desires until he shifts his way of thinking more nearly to meet our opinions. Yet, the very person whose exterior may grate upon us may easily be a more perfect vehicle for the operation of the law than we are ourselves. A student of the science of mind should be a tolerant person. He should be able to meet all sorts of conditions of men upon their own level of looking, through their external differences, in the inner sameness and loving, all because each is an expression of spirit. If the spirit is peace, we should not permit ourselves to become irritated by others, nor should we withdraw from people because their habits of life are different from ours. Spirit never withdraws from anyone. That's from A Complete Introductory Course in the Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. So let me finish this talk where I began. What is our power really? And how should we use it? We are here as expressions of the oneness. We are here to bring more and more of this oneness into the world. More love, more peace, more joy. And we will never find the oneness we seek by emphasizing our differences. In truth, our seeming differences with each other have no basis. If you seek your oneness with others, you will always find it. So let's find it and dwell there. That's where I want to be in consciousness. Oneness. Let's seek that oneness together. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Reverend Nicholas. Great talk this morning. And a very relevant topic that we're all going through. So now it's our time for conscious giving, and we appreciate all of you for your tithes and donations that we get every week. They keep us going. They bring us these wonderful speakers on different topics. You can go to cslmidtown.org/donate and donate there, or you can click on the QR code that's on the screen. It will take you right there. And if you will, say with me our affirmation of prosperity. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow. And all that I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. So I've got a couple of announcements. We've got, we're in person next Sunday. And November's theme is abundance, for abundance. We've got Idella Veal coming. She's a religious science practitioner with the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. So we'll welcome her. And so we'll be at the Garden Hills Community Center next Sunday. So come that. We're going to do a potluck afterwards. Should be a fun, good time. And it'll be good to see Idella again. Every Sunday, we've got at 10 a.m. the study group. They're discussing the Science of Mind textbook. So they're going through all the Science of Mind textbook. You don't have to have read. You can come join the discussion anytime. Starts at 10 on the Zoom. You can get the Zoom link on the website, cslmidtown.org. Just scroll down to the Zoom link. It will take you right there. That will get you there. Also, right after this, we're going to do that same Zoom chat with Reverend Nicholas to have some further discussion on his talk this morning. I think that might be a little lively this morning. So join us for that. And now, if you will, we'll go for our affirmation of life. I leave this place now knowing something better than I knew before. I go forth into the world with a heart full of love and a mind full of good sense. I look at the world in a greater way, knowing that I have within me everything I need to create the life I desire. I give thanks for this understanding, and I am grateful for the spirit of life that lives through me. And so it is. See you over on Zoom.
There is a power for good in the universe greater than you are, and you can use it.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all that I have. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all that I have. Hey! Oh yeah. Grateful. I just say I am so grateful every day for all I have. Every day. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all I have. Every day I say it. Grateful. How I'm grateful. Every day. Oh yeah. I am so grateful. Oh yeah. I'm so grateful. 'Cause I accept and I receive. I am so grateful. Oh yes, I am. I am so grateful. Hey, grateful. I just